Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the I Am Stacey Thomas Unrestricted Unlimited Talk Show. Thank you once again for joining me, for those of you who continuously do it. And thank you for the newcomers that are going to watch tonight. I have a very exciting guest coming on, and she hasn't come on yet. I see her popping up, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about this beautiful woman before she comes on. Stacey's going to put on her reading glasses. How about that? Um, Motivational tycoon is the only word that describes the powerful Dr. Kimberly Ventus-Darks. She is a highly sought after national and international motivator, where she has traveled to 15 cities per month, speaking on her own Dr. Kim's tour to thousands each month. Wow. Dr. Kim is known for her profound wisdom and unbelievable energy. I can attest to that. And has developed an international fan club of Dr. Kimmers. You're going to see why. Dr. Kim is a published author with several motivational CDs and books at Barnes & Nobles, and she has ghostwritten over 14 books for clients. Currently, she has a new audio book out. We'll talk about that tonight also. Dr. Kim's newest audio is entitled Stop the Drama and Stop Defending Your Life. You're going to want a copy of it. She's also a radio and television personality and currently has a popular show on Facebook Live entitled Dr. Kim at 10 a.m. I said Facebook Live titled Dr. Kim at 10 a.m. You would really want to check that out. In addition to being the co-owner of DARX Publishing and the founder of the Dr. Kim Experience LLC, she is also a regular speaker for Candy Burris of the Atlanta Housewives. Stacey got a big time guest. She's beautiful. She's humble. She's awesome. Dr. Kim has spoken South Africa to 9 different tribes and 11 different languages, with a translator, of course. But can you imagine the woman we're about to hear from? I didn't just pick her up at the closest 7-Eleven. She's been on the show before. Let's bring her on because we've got a lot to talk about. And personally, I need Dr. Kim. She feeds me. She feeds my soul. She feeds my spirit with good words daily when I can catch her on Facebook. And I'm sure some of you, whether you want to admit it or not, she'll help you tonight also. Let's bring her on. Hello, beautiful.
Stacey, all you see is hair. All you see is hair. I can't even see myself.
You can't see yourself?
Stacey,
How about that?
a little bit.
Welcome back, Dr. Kim.
Thank you.
Beautiful. You know what? When I watch you on Facebook, you know it's one time to be blessed to have you on the show, but when you agree to come back a second time, Dr. Kim, I certainly hope you understand that I'm not even going to act like it's for everybody else, Dr. Kim.
I understand.
I'm not. It's for me too.
Yes.
It's for me too. How have you been, superstar?
Oh, Stacey, I am blessed. I'm doing well. I really don't have any complaints. I'm growing.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm growing emotionally. I'm getting stronger and wiser. And I am very, very blessed. Let me say this, Stacey, when you said that, when I'm speaking on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Now, Stacey, when I look at myself, there's half you and half me. Is that how it's supposed to be?
Yes, ma'am. Do you like it like that?
I think so. As long as you can see me the way you're supposed to. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So anyway, so Stacey, when in the mornings when I speak on Facebook Live, it's also for me. It's like, oh my goodness. Most of the time, the things that I think I'm going to talk about,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
don't really talk about. And as I'm talking to them, it's coming to me. And I'm like, oh, this was for me. So I need it too.
You need
And
it
even
too.
though it comes out of my mouth, I need it as well. So
Yes, ma'am. I really want people to see you, so I'm going to play with the camera a
okay.
bit. As we grow, I'll have my own camera person one day, and I'll be able to show you better, Dr. Kim.
Okay.
So, how's that for you,
Now
beautiful?
that's closer. I like it better than the other one, but it's still, I see about this much of me and all of you. Now, I love staring at you. So,
Can you move your camera over some
oh,
maybe? There,
um,
let's
I
see.
don't think so.
The
I don't think
opposite
it,
way, Dr. Kim.
huh?
The opposite way. No, the other
The
way.
other way.
There we
Let
go,
me,
Dr.
okay, okay, that's better, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I think it's better. I mean,
Yes.
I still see half of me, but
Let's
all of
see.
you.
But so you said, so you're not one of those people that are sitting there studying something before looking up information before Tuesday come to feed people?
No, I'm not. I've always got something on my spirit. And since December, Stacey, we've been doing Reinvent Your Life for 2021.
Okay.
So we have been talking about things we need to remember and to take with us into 2021. And one of the topics that we talked about was living in the solution and not the problem. And a lot of times we live in the problem and not the solution. Therefore, the problem is magnified instead of the solution. We have recently talked about, um, and this one was kind of a surprise because I wasn't thinking that I would talk to them about this, but the devil is in the details. We need to remember that for 2021 because and let me kind of explain that one because when we talk about depression, this one is part of it, Stacy, to whereas we can look and say, I know it's not going to happen. I don't have a job. I cannot see what's going to happen. All I see is depression, no money, no nothing. But the devil is in the details. When we look at the big picture of, I know it's going to happen and I know it's going to come to pass, we have favor. When we look at what happened on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all we see is destruction. In our perspective, Stacy, when we look at the whole picture, that's when we can find God. That's where we can find our peace. That's where our belief is. If we dissect it to what happened then, and then there, and then there, and then this, and then that, the devil is always in the detail.
And sometimes, Dr. Kim, and maybe this is for other people too, but even when you sit there and you try to think about the details,
Yes.
how does one fight the devil part that's consuming them?
That's very interesting. One thing that I say, and I live by it, there's two things, and I hope that your audience will write this down or remember it. Um, is Oh my goodness, especially for 20 and 21, since 20 and 20 has been so hard. One thing to remember as you go into 2021, if you're fighting depression, frustration, or whatever, is base your decisions on your level of peace and allow your peace to make the decision for you. Usually, it's like if your decision continues to make you vexed and you're not sure, and oh my goodness, well, I don't know, stay away from it. But if you feel a relief, peace comes from God. Base your decisions on your level of peace and then allow your peace to make the decision for you. That one is very, very, very powerful. The other thing that is that I so live by. And this one, a lot of times, Stacy, we don't know the power of it. And I've done it probably for the last 10 years. And it is something so valuable to take into the new year. And that is, oh my goodness, it's so good, Stacy. Stacy, every single thing you say you should do is exactly what you should do. Listen, I should get another job. I should get out of this relationship. I really should confront my sister. Every single thing you say you should do is exactly what you should do. You should shit all over yourself. When you say oh my goodness, when you say you should, that's the wisdom in you. Every single thing. And I love that because it's simple. Every single thing you say you should do is exactly what you should do. Should all over yourself. And let me say something. Should is different than can do. Should is different than must do. Oh my goodness. Listen, if you are following your purpose and if you know your assignment and if you're walking in your assignment, it's not a must do because you don't must do it. It's not a can do, well, I can or I can. It's a should do. Every single thing that you do that's valuable is a should do. You should. That's why we usually don't do it. I should do it, but I don't. Let me give you an example, then we'll go on. Many times, one of the topics I had was, oh, yes, you do know the answer to your problem. And we act like we don't know. We have not been trained to know, but you know exactly what you should do. Okay, now stay with me. And so I had someone say, Dr. Kim, well, how do I know? How do I know? And then what I told her, I said, if your daughter came to you with the same exact question, Mama, should I marry the one that loves me? And I love him, Mama, but I mean, I'm not, that in love with him, but he loves me. He loves me. And he's a doctor. He's secure. Or should I marry the one that I love, but he can't keep a job? And what I say is, don't answer to yourself. But if your daughter came to you, you would tell her based on what she should do. And and a lot of times when we talk to ourselves, we don't know what to do. But when you think about the direction you would give to your son, it's like, darling, we go into the should do's. And let me tell you why. I don't want it to get complex. But every person listening to me, Stacey, is either a heart person or a mind person. Okay. It's either they are motivated by heart decisions or mind decisions. Okay. And I'm a mind person. Stacey, I believe you're a heart person. Okay. Now wait a minute.
Okay.
Stacey, stay with me. It doesn't mean that you don't use your mind. And it doesn't mean that I don't use my heart. It's just that if somebody come and ask me for their rent, I'm going to make sure mine is paid first. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So I am a mind person, and that's the way that I flow. Usually at work, we become who we need to become. And then who we are at home is usually who we are. So many times we're like, I can't get along with my daughter. Well, your daughter, especially if she's a Generation X, especially if she's young, she's probably a mind person. And you are probably hurtful. So stay with me. So when you answer the question to your daughter or your son about who they should marry, the beauty of using them is that it takes out if you're a heart or a mind person. It erases your heart. Oh my goodness. And it erases your mind. And all you're using is your wisdom. And so it's so important that as we go into 2021, everything we say we should do is exactly what we should do. We don't know that. But our shoulds is the wisdom that's been given to us. And it is where our peace lies. And if you see, well, let me say it one more time. If you see someone that's walking in their purpose, it's a should do. It's not a must do. It's not a can do. It don't have to be done. I mean, you don't have to walk in your purpose. You don't have to know your assignment. You don't have to be valuable. We know you're brilliant, but you don't have to become that. Most people don't. So if you're operating in the shoulds, you're operating in an exceptional level. Most people never get there.
Wow. You
Does
know
that
what?
make sense?
It makes good sense. And I gotta say this.
Okay.
I go to church on Sunday mornings and I think God's telling the preacher she's here. Then when I talk to you sometime, like tonight when you first started, I'm like, did God say, Dr. Kim, here's the chance, tell her what you need to tell her? It's something, and I'm gonna think about that myself too, because there are times I say, I should try this.
Yes.
I've said it a lot.
Yes.
And just like I'm gonna put should in the category with fear. I'm just gonna do it.
Yes.
Because when I say I should, it stops me, whether it's the fear or me just,
Yes.
So
Yes.
thank you.
Well, and let me say this. It's just one of those secrets that nobody that you just don't know. And one of the things that I did on Facebook Live, I just started talking about secrets. Just the things that people don't say. And then you wonder, like, let me tell you another one, and then we're going to get off of it, Stacey. But one of the ones that is so precious to me, um, and and unless somebody explains it, you'll never know it. You'll never know it. But it's one of those things that can make your life quality or not. Um, and it has to do with the workplace. I a lot of times we are taught, or we think it is strong when we say, I don't care if they like me. I don't care if they like me. And it's okay to a point, although we do care. Um, but if you want to get promoted, if you want to be picked, if you want a chance at that position, they've got to like you, period. And if you are a troublemaker, if you're unapproachable, and if you're nasty, they're not going to promote you. So what ends up happening is I have all type of people that I know they're good at what you can tell they're good at what they do. But many times our companies will prefer to go to someone they can teach and that's approachable than being excellent and a know-it-all. And that's just kind of in the workplace when I'm talking to professional women and I'm like, I love God, I'm anointed, but I'm beat up in the workplace. Why is that? I mean, the bottom line is the favor is in the like. Or you could be in love with someone and they may love you, but they don't like you. Well, if they don't like you, that's what you're going to feel. It can be more satisfying in a relationship to be with someone that likes you versus in love with you. And so a lot of times we need to unlearn whatever we've learned. And and let's just be real, and then we're gonna get off this. But I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's your job. I don't care what it is. They don't want you that good anyway. They want you good, but not that good. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
You go ahead and be creative, but nobody told you to updo the system. Okay. They want you to be excellent, but they want you to be someone they can control. There's so a lot of times we get these phrases and we take it to the realm and it's like, but I'm the best one, and I'm like, that's the problem. a lot of times we are dealing in this world because it's hard, Stacey. And there are
Yeah.
so many secrets that we don't know. And we're like, we keep doing it. We keep doing it. And, I mean, and it's like, I know that we're talking about depression and people not knowing, and I'm big on maturity age. I talk a lot about being mature. I talk a lot about your mother might be 70 years old, but she might have stopped maturing at 17. Okay. So if she stopped maturing at 17, she can only give you the perspective that a 17-year-old can give you. And so you're like, she's my mother. I'm like, yeah, but she's 17. Whoa, 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 whoa. She's 17. She's only 17. And people would have a problem with that. And I'm like, you better get that and get it good. Because, see, sometimes you understanding their true maturity level is the only way you can get peace in that relationship. And so you're like, oh, now I get it why she does that. Now I understand why she's competitive with me. She doesn't know any better. She's 17. And sometimes, Stacey, when we look at them based on their level of maturity, that's the only way we can forgive them. And then when she's 17 and she had 5 kids and she was working 2 or 3 jobs, it's like, Mama, I love you. And then you're able to honor her. Like, you really didn't have much, and you did everything on your own. And yet you kept us. Yet you tried to read us stories, Mama. It allows you to be able to see it unclouded, and it takes away the heart and the mind. And so a lot of times when we talk about other people, we're looking at them based on their education, based on their age, based on their role. But you look at the thing and you're like, I mean, hey, I want to be that way. But that's not the smart way to be, because when I look at you in our relationship, the best you can do is at a 17-year-old level. And I don't blame you anymore. You're 17. And a lot of times we see that in our mates, we see that in our mothers, and we see that sometimes in our children. It's like, yes, my son, he's 27, but he's more like a 16-year-old. So when he comes to you with stuff, don't put him down. He's giving you what he's got. And then a lot of times our little girls come in and they need to be calmed down. Like, Jessica, I know you think you know everything, but I want you to volunteer at the zoo this summer, because you need to balance all that with some compassion. Because regardless of how smart you think you are, baby, you are beginning a journey to where you are not likable. And you think you don't care, but you will. Balance it, baby.
So it's important to be liked.
It's important to treat others as you would want to be treated yourself.
Ooh, I've always I live by that. I
Good for
live
you,
by
Stacey.
that. I
Well,
do.
I like you. And I like you. And I was telling my husband that today. I like you. I like you. And
I
and
like
because
you.
you're very sincere. And you know, I I don't know if you've ever heard me say, I don't speak to you for you to speak to me. I speak
Ma'am.
to you because I need to like me. So if I speak to you and you don't speak to me back, it doesn't take my joy. It doesn't take my peace. because I'm not speaking to you for you. I'm speaking to you because I need to like me. It's really not for, it's also like even the likability thing, it's not for you. It's for me. Because I realize that earthly favor, and there's spiritual favor, which is a whole nother thing. But we're talking about, I have seen so many people, Stacey, and it's like everything works out for them. I mean, it's like, it's just everything. Everything. And I was telling some people that, if I walk into Chipotle, I'm not gonna go in allowing how you feel and how you feel to transfer over to me. See, because and it's been hard, but when I walk into a place, I influence you. I'm in control. You understand? And some of that is just, hi, how are you? When I found out, I was in prayer about my purpose, Stacey, and I found out that I was a speaker. And this was about 27 years ago. And I told God, I was like, I am so embarrassed. I don't want to do that. I don't like it. And then a couple of years went by and I was like, well, where's the stage at? And why am I broke? And then I felt I felt in my spirit, if you're a speaker, go ahead and speak. You're waiting for the stage, go ahead and do it. So I didn't know what I was doing, but when I went to the grocery store, I would just, hi, how are you? Oh, so good to see you. You look nice today. To where it's not about them. It's never about them.
I like that.
I don't even give people time to transfer anything to me because my job is to transfer love and non-judgment to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's many things that come like favor and likability, but I don't do it for the gifts. I do it because it's the God in me. Do you understand?
I understand. But when you're doing it for you, you're constantly doing it. I'm treating you good because it makes me feel good. I'm smiling at you because it makes me feel good. I say hello to you because it makes me feel good. You can do that sometimes, Dr. Kim, over and over. Chaos. And people still, I mean, how do you deal with that? You're being that person, but like you said in your topic, the chaos and the drama still comes to you.
Well, Stacey, couple of things. I don't hang around chaotic people. Number one. Um, and I know people and I love them, but I don't hang out, go nowhere, talk on the phone much to people that has a lot of chaos in their life. I just don't. I have no interest, and I have no interest in hearing it. Now, if you want to ask me a question of how to get out of a situation, I'll be more than happy. But if it's a pattern in your life that there is mess all over, we can be long distance friends, but nothing intimate and nothing close. I was talking to a person yesterday, and as soon as she got on the phone, she was telling me about this person and that person. And I said, listen, I said, get to the point. I love you. Get to the point. Because I'm not interested in hearing what she did to who.
Okay.
And, but I love you. And just, there's no way that I can stay in that realm of peace without being honest. And as you search, there are other people. like you, to whereas I don't deal in mess. You know, I just don't. And and I stop it. If I have to look at those, Stacey, if it's unusual for them to be, gossipy or whatever, then they may need a ear. But if it's their pattern, Tawanda, thank you. Thank you, Tawanda. If it's a pattern, then they have shown me who they are. And can I say something? Stacey, I find that people, people, people appreciate it. You know, I was my husband and I were out one day a couple of years ago, and we had pulled up and there was a baby in the car. Okay. And I guess the baby was about 8 months or so. And, he was inside and I looked at the baby and it was fine. It was in the back seat. It was planned with something. It seemed just fine. I was concerned though, just concerned. And then my husband came out and I told him, I said, there's a baby in that back seat. And he said, let's stay here until whoever comes out. I said, okay. So about 10 minutes later, and 10 minutes is a long time, okay, this girl came out, she seemed very nice and everything. And my husband got out of the car and he said, ma'am, he said, I come to you in love. He said, but we've been here and we waited with your baby to make sure nothing happened. And he said, it's everybody else that we can't trust. Be careful. And here he is confronting her. And she was like, yeah, you're right. I'm so sorry. And she was pregnant and she'd had a lot of problems, probably not feeling very good. But I loved it when he said, I'm coming to you in love. And I was just like, that's beautiful. I'm not saying, it just depends on, who you're around. And the interesting thing, Stacey, is when you first tell them, if it's gossip, I don't want to hear it. I'm keeping my mind on God today, or I'm keeping my mind high today. After a couple of times, they will never come back to you anyway, because all they want is a response.
That's right.
Yes, Stacey. Stacey, we teach people how to treat us by what we will accept from them. And Stacey, people will treat you the way that you allow them to. And Stacey, never complain about anything you tolerate.
Ooh, I know that's right.
Isn't that good? Isn't that good? I
Yeah,
love
that's
that one.
good.
And Stacey, if you have someone in your life and it's been a pattern of talking about people and this and that, you can say, look, I want to let you know for 2021, that's out of my life. Just announce it like 2021, I'm changing my attitude. So if you say it, I don't want to hear it. I'm not the one. And you can make it light, but still live by that.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, it's like you're not gonna give me that anger and that nastiness because I'm standing next to you. No, 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 no. Because you know what? I transfer. Because what I'm transferring is love. People transfer their energy and their negative energy and their anger all the time. And then you end up mad. Excuse me. And then they are okay because they gave their anger to you. Now, Stacey, let me say one more thing. Never complain about anything you tolerate. Now, this is the one that I use, and it's hard. It's so hard, but I try to do it. And it goes like this: I deserve what I tolerate. I
I
deserve.
like that space.
Did I allow? And so I just I used to be concerned about how people feel. But every day I wake up and I want to be right. And I fight for my peace. And I've got to like myself. And it's just that, but that's why you're exceptional. Thank you, Letty. C. Williams, thank you. Because there's only a few like you. And because when CC says, look, unless, because you know what, even in the workplace, you know what I've told people? I've told people, I don't talk about people that are not here to defend themselves. That's it. It don't take a whole lot. After one or two times, they stop doing it anyway. And can I say something? Thank you, Latrice. Can I say something? They want to be there anyway, Stacey. I don't care how much drama. They sometimes we get addicted on the power of drama because drama has an energy that nothing else has. But when you know you have purpose and that you have an assignment and that you are here for a specific calling, you get more and more comfortable with saying, I can't allow that in my life. Or you don't have to do it that bold. You can sit there and say, so how would you solve the problem? Or, so what are you going to do about it? Come back with the question. They'll stop. Because that's not they don't really want to answer the question. They don't want to solve so now that you know she's saying that about you, how are you going to solve it, Jessica? With my clients, because I do success coaching and it's incredible. Usually everyone, Stacey, has a secret mentor. They have someone at work or in their life, and it's like they hurt for them because they want them to be different, to do different. And you're like, they have so much potential. And secretly, they are positioning them in the right direction. So secretly, well, John, how would you handle that? Well, John, you said you were going to do that? Did you do it, John? It's like a secret accountability angel.
Okay.
I find that it is my duty to do it the best way that I know how. I mean, I could sit here all day and I was telling someone today, Stacey, that if someone is rude to you, they have pre-selected you to be rude to. Yes. They have watched you. They have seen how you've responded to others. Yes. They would never be rude to John, but they'll be rude to you because they feel like they can be. So when someone is rude to you, it's something about you that they feel like they can do that too.
Okay.
And so, I just, all I know is that life is so hard. And there are so many little secrets and so many things that we can do to bring up the quality of our life. Because I find that when we are angry and one thing as far as depression and the chaos, one thing that I always say, Stacey, is that there should be 3 non-negotiables. And what I mean by that, there should be 3 things that you are willing to fight for. Not everything. So I might say, Stacey, I'm going to ask you, what are your top 3 things that's the most important to you?
The most important things that I would fight for,
Mm-hmm.
God,
Mm-hmm.
my children,
Mm-hmm.
lover.
Lover. Do they know who Lover is?
Everybody knows.
Girl, he's way up there. Girl,
Dr. Kim.
I'm sorry.
Anybody that watches by
I
now,
thought you were gonna say my company, my vision. You're like Lover, honey, Lover. Okay, now.
Dr. Kim.
Yes,
See, and that's kind of hard because when you say three things, beautiful, I'm not gonna lie, Dr. Kim.
it's okay.
Hey, I'm just gonna say it. And some people may say this is wrong. People have said it's wrong. But maybe you're gonna say this should be at the top of my list. When it comes to my vision, my purpose, my writing, okay, I'm gonna admit it to the world. I won't give it up for anybody but God. I won't give it up for marriage. I won't give it up for a good relationship with my children. Does that make sense? They're at the top of my list, but then there's that part of Stacey. Only if God says stop.
Got it. No. And I understand that because I very much teach Stacey, if I get it, good, and if I don't get it, it's good. And I live by that. To whereas, I want it, but I don't have to have it. I mean, I go through my day saying, I can wait.
What are your three things, Dr. Kim?
Oh my goodness. Stacey, my relationship with the Father is, and I have not always been to where don't you dare. And I remember like three years ago, I was somewhere and something was being said that wasn't right. And I felt it. I was like, oh my God. And I was so happy that I was finally at that place to where, look, it's just how it is for me. And it's the basis of everything that I said today. That's why I give to you, and okay, if the smile or just, hi, how are you? Good. Okay. God, I do have one son. I have been married 34 years. My son, and I'm not putting them in order either. I'm not. But my purpose, I started seeing my purpose when I was like 7 years old. And so it is very much wrapped up in my relationship with God. And but the whole reason I mentioned about the three non-negotiables is that if you don't know what they are, you will find yourself fighting for anything. You all upset because you can't wear open-toe shoes to work when you don't wear sandals anyway. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, and there's very little that bothers me because there's only a few things that I fight for. And so, but if I did not have that set, I would be an emotional roller coaster. Wow. And a lot of times, Stacey, our anger is that's Tanya's problem. Tanya has a problem with that. So now you're Tanya's friend and you're mad too. This has nothing, many times our anger has nothing to do with us. I'm not real. I love people, but I probably have been the most emotional now in my life than ever, but I'm not easily moved like that because it don't matter that much anyway. So even though you talked about your purpose and your assignment, I'm with you. I
Okay.
mean, with my son, I love my son, but I've worked on not being obsessed with him.
Wow. Wow. Dr. Kim, you need to be a co-host. I'm only kidding. You need to be my co-host. I've got and I don't I want to keep listening to you, but I don't want to forget what I want to ask you also. When you sit there and you tell us how to deal with people and the things that you've said and you know how you think we should handle people and ourselves, is there a difference when you're dealing with family and people, or what you're saying, is it for everybody?
That's so good.
Is it for everybody? Like, should I have, because it's a sibling or a cousin, should I bend my rules? The way I get people straight at work, maybe I should be a little more gentle with family, or is it that way with everybody? You know?
Absolutely. Stacey, I love that question. Okay. And for the people that are listening, I have two answers for that, and it's so good. If I do it right, okay, if I confront them right, it should work with family and those that are not, if I do it right.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if I'm not doing it right, then I think there's an honor that we give to family sometime. Okay. Now, this is the part that I want to talk about very quickly. One of the things that I talked about recently in, Dr. Kim at 10 a.m. And this is new for me. And I was like, oh my God, that's a Stacey, sometimes in our life, people are assigned to us. Okay. So they're not really a friend. It's not really lover, but God placed them in our life to help us. There's a friend, and then there's people that are just a blessing. They're beyond a friend. They're just, it's spiritual. And this is another thing that a lot of times we're not taught. They're on a whole nother level. And it may not be family. It might be someone that you met later on. It's just like the things she says. She's a blessing. To whereas you can't really describe it. And you might not even really, really, really be friends. But they're a blessing. Those are the ones. It's them, Stacey, that I would just make sure that I am treating them with the love that I should. Because if they've been assigned to me, God's going to make sure they get what they need to. I'm now messing with God's anointed. So, not they're still human, but he put them in Stacey's life so that Stacey can remember that she is special. Without her, Stacey will get distracted and forget that she has purpose. I'm placing her in Stacey's life.
Mm.
When they have reached the blessing mark, I try to pray anyway before confrontation. Sometimes I don't know, but that's something I would just have to really, really be sure about and do it in love. Just because I'm afraid to mess with those
That may be a sign.
that's been assigned.
Oh Lord. So
And
before
because, can I say something? And Stacey, because you may find, and you may look back and you're like, that teacher was assigned to me. That that's the only teacher that even believed in me.
wow.
That teacher was assigned to me. To whereas you know that it wasn't normal. It was nothing normal about it. And that's kind of because we have the tendency. I've seen people cuss out their neighbor and then go around and cuss out their mama and cuss out this and that, and and I just, there's something so ugly about it. I mean, I guess for me, number one is if I allow my anger, my neighbor to get me that angry, it's my fault anyway. It's not their fault. It's never their fault. It's my fault because I'm allowing them to get me that angry. So I must believe what they're saying, or I must be an open target, or why am I why if I'm allowing my anger, you mean I'm that fragile? Oh, okay. I'll read this and to keep that up there for a second,
Okay.
Stacey. But to whereas whenever there is a problem and my spirit is vexed, it's never that other person. It's always me. They may be the tool that got me there, but God's looking at how I handle it.
Okay.
And if my mother is that destructive, and they can be, I would love her from a distance.
Okay.
I remember when I was with my mother. My mother is very sassy. She died. My father died, and I was always a daddy's girl. And she's just sassy, and we were argumentative all the time, Stacey. And I remember, I'll never forget this day. I was sitting in the dining room, and and God said, "Shut your mouth." And it didn't really matter how wrong my mother was, what she was saying, if she was saying it, if she wasn't saying it. This had nothing to do with my mother. He said, "Now you love her. You make her feel like she's the most important person in this world."
Wow.
And my mother lived about 15 years after that, and I shut my mouth.
Wow.
And Stacey, when you know you're doing something right, it was like, those are the type of things to where I really like who I am. But it's because of those type of things of I shut my mouth. And at first I was offended, but then it became exactly what I needed to do. And so if my hair is extra big, I don't care because I like me. To whereas I just so I have learned to um not not to talk in haste, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what do you do when a person bring chaos that interfere with your livelihood and your character? I would get them out of my life. I mean, I don't know any, if they are full of chaos, okay, and it is interfering with the quality of your life and your character, then get them out of your life. And you can start just backing away. If you're used to calling them, don't call them so much. Don't have as much to say. When they have a problem, well, how would you handle it? They will start itching away from you if you are not feeding the disease.
Okay.
Who whoever has power over you is your God. Don't be in a situation to where God is saying you're in this situation because you allowed John to control you.
Okay.
We need to stop allowing people to have authority over our life.
And that goes for family, friends, co-workers,
And
passerbys.
but there's a way to do it. And there's a way to separate and still love them.
So, Dr. Kim, so I guess that means she's not dealing with family. She's a CEO of her own company and it's business related.
You know what, Latrice, and I get it, and congratulations and all that you're doing. But there's a couple of things that I'm thinking, and I don't know the whole situation. But if you're the CEO of the company, I don't know if she works for you or not. I would still, number one, I would address the issue. This is what's going on. It is distracting us from this, this, and this. This is what I need for you to do in order for us to continue to work together. That's an outside client. If it's somebody under my direction, with me having my company, I'm very concerned about people with a bad character because I can't allow my blessings to be blocked because I allowed a disease to come in. Latrice, I know I'm probably not answering your question very well because
Um,
that person was released. Okay. And then Latrice, I don't know if you still work with them or not, but this is what I'm thinking. Why are they, because it's not really, it doesn't matter if they're physically with you, because if they're mentally with you, that's dealing with the aftermath. Let it go. Don't, Latrice, it's not the last time it's going to happen. You will find other ones. Pray that God will give you the insight to see it before it's too late. Stop taking them home with you. Stop taking them to bed with you. Stop allowing them to be in the shower with you. Because you know what, Latrice? Whoever you think about the most during your day is your God for that day.
woo, I like that.
And why should I be surprised at the ugliness of people? I find that when, Stacey, we are surprised at the ugliness of people, it's because we put them too far up on a pedestal. You understand? Well, and it's like I don't really expect anything, and if I get it good, my expectation comes from myself, and I really, really, really have tried. I'm like, Kim, they meant to say thank you. I can't be lingering on that type of stuff. Well, they didn't say thank you. Well, they meant to say thank you. Go on. It's like living in the solution. Spend 3 seconds on the problem. Okay, now this is what I'll do. It's like when I traveled every day at the airport. I wanted to get those People magazines, the In Touch magazines, but I can't do it. Maybe Latrice can do it, but I can't look through those magazines because what I see in Kim Kardashian is stains my mind. And I try to get her off my mind, but I can't because I'm still stuff that don't even make no sense and doesn't have anything to do with me. So there's certain things I can't even allow to filter in my mind. Kimberly, thank you, baby. Thank you, sweetheart. Stacey.
Depression. When I hear you talk, stuff pops on my mind, or it's things that I really want to know. I understand that sometimes depression, I get it if it's mental, right, Dr. Kim?
If it's what now? Say that again.
Sometimes people can't help it. It's a mental issue. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
something I've been seeing on Facebook, and I really wanted to know what you would say about this. You have people coming on Facebook and on social media platforms that say, if I would, and they're giving their little motivational speeches, okay?
Mhm.
If I got through such and such, you can get through such and such. Stop complaining. If this happened to me, then you're not depressed. You don't have anything wrong. You should be able to get through what you're going through. What do you say to people like that?
Stacey, I have dealt with depression, okay? And I have dealt with it in a very, very, very serious way, okay? And I need to write a book about it, but I find that in all of us, there is something that triggers our depression usually, okay? So for me, Stacey, when I don't know what to do, when I don't know what I should be working on, when I am not completing my task, when I feel like my business is not going anywhere, I'm depressed. If I am productive, I can be without money or anything, and I'm all right.
I understand.
You understand?
Yes,
There
ma'am.
are a lot of people like that as far as productivity. There's some people that they're depressed when they don't have a companion. And when they have it's the companion. It's because for them, Stacey, not having a companion means not wanted, being alone, embarrassed, fearful. It means so many other things. A lot of times we need to if we can just pinpoint what that thing is that triggers it, then we can usually fix it.
And I guess more people need to
I can't
understand
hear.
that.
There's a bubbling. Say that again, Stacey.
I said, more people need to hear what you're saying
Yes.
because
Well,
it's real and it's not like because Dr. Kim got through it, Stacey should be able to get through it. Different things trigger different things.
honey, one, and when I say depressed, I mean, I am talking about not wanting to be here anymore. I mean, I am talking about it being very serious when you think of ways to not be here. I'm talking about to where you can't get out of the bed. I'm talking about where you pee in the bed because you can't make it to the bathroom. And so I get it. But like I said, if we can just understand that when we really are talking about depression, it is usually one thing, one thorn, one detail that the enemy has implanted. And let me say something. One of the things on Dr. Kim at 10 a.m., and I don't want to get extra deep or anything, and I don't know how many people believe that there is a it's like when we talked about work. They want you good, but they don't want you that good. Okay? To whereas God wants you to fulfill your purpose, but the enemy doesn't. Okay? It's almost like why there is an energy to chaos that can never ever be replaced with peace. That is a drawing, a curiosity. There's a sexuality to drama. I mean, to where it's like, oh, what's going on? Ooh, what's going? It's just, it's there to distract you. And so when you are talking to your 16-year-old son, and he took some beer too, like his friends. And then you're mad at him, but yet deep down with him, Stacey, all he wanted, he's a good boy. He just wanted to be accepted by his peers. You talk to him a little bit differently when you realize there's a war going on. And there is an enemy and a force that get my son to not live in his potential. It's not just him, but there's a war against him. There's a war against our families. There's a war against our little girls coming in, just as cute as can be, but it's going to turn against them because our blessing is our curse and our curse is our blessing. And usually what we're good at is the thing that will cause us our pain. So when we talk about depression, there's so many levels to depression. But if we can understand, because here's the thing about depression, once you get in it, everything looks like it's a problem. And it might be, but it's one thing that triggered it. And if you can find out where your trigger point is, then you start protecting it. And then you start talking your purpose. And then when you get in trouble at work because you're outspoken, yet outspoken is your purpose, you confront it in the interview and you make it good. I am outspoken and I've learned that people appreciate the honesty. You code it to where it's not a target. Find out. It might be, some people get severely depressed when they have no money. But underneath that one thing is usually fear.
Wow.
But it's magnified, Stacey, because you're dealing with yourself and you're dealing with a fight to keep you beneath your privilege.
Wow. I love your honesty.
Thank you.
I know we can catch you at 10 a.m. And what days was that again?
It's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. However, this Tuesday I will not be speaking, but Wednesday and Thursday I will be.
Oh, okay. And what I love about you is that if I can't catch you on Facebook and if I need a one-on-one, please tell us what are you offering besides me sharing you with everybody else that's talking to you on
Oh,
Facebook?
nice. I do success sessions, and I do it on, fixing yourself, fixing your relationship, knowing your God-given purpose, figuring out what you're supposed to do. That's one of my gifts of being able to identify other people's purpose and then helping them walk in it. That one is very, very valuable. I find, Stacey, that anything that you don't have peace with, that's been going on for it might be relationship, it might be self-esteem, it might be starting a business, it might be getting over hurt, anything like that. My sessions are $129. I will take it down for your group if someone's interested in doing that. And they're very, very, very life-changing. The other thing, and they should see it, Stacey, I'm not sure, but I do have a new book out. It's called Stop the Drama and Stop Defending Your Life. And it's an audio book out to where you can listen to me and you can put it on your phone, you can put it on your iPad, you can put it on your computer. And it is about 45 minutes and it is incredible. It goes into how to control your thoughts, how to not take people home with you, how to be who you need to be, how to stop, Stacey. Well, listen, what you do is what you do. And in there, in that audio cassette, it's a download. I have some different ways of how to get people off your back. Like this is like if someone says, well, so stupid. Let me explain. Like one comeback is, if I still loved you, I would do that. You know, of getting them off your back, or I respectfully disagree. Or now you guys don't repeat this because this is bad. I also say something like, you'll get that
Excuse
in
me.
your second marriage.
Say that again. Say that
I'm
again.
not gonna say it.
Say it again.
You're too excited.
What did you say, Dr. Kim?
I said you'll get that in your second marriage. Oh my God. But of also just walking in who you are. And it is an amazing audio recording, and it's only $12.99. If you want to give it for a gift to someone, then write down their name and their email and even a special note, and I will be happy to email it to them. It's very, very, very good. There's a sample. Stacey, will they be able to hear the sample?
You know what I want to do? Let's put this information up really quickly. So it's $12.99.
It's $12.99.
And this is for the audio called.
It's called Stop the Drama and Stop Defending Your Life. Stacey, do you have the link?
Yes,
ma'am. Okay, perfect.
I
If
am.
you can just touch it and like for 2 seconds, and then it'll go into PayPal. They don't have to have a PayPal account. It's $12.99, and they will get the download within 24 hours.
Okay, so what I will do once we finish, I'm gonna post that in the comment section.
Yes.
So they can see it. Is that okay? Because
I trust you, Stacey. If you have the sample, that would be perfect.
I
To
can
put that in there. You're gonna play it.
play the sample. Let
Okay.
me play the sample because I tried very hard trying to figure out. It'll get better when I get a team. So I'm gonna play the sample because I really wanted people to hear it.
It's
So,
just it's very real,
yes, ma'am.
and it's just very, very good.
So let's see. So here we are.
And you know, and I know people who are addicted to chaos. They're addicted to drama. They run to see what's happening. They gossip around it, about it, and through it. They are addicted to mess.
So we're gonna do that.
And let me say this, and I find this to be true, that all drama is not your drama. Many times we're in the middle of drama and it wasn't our issue anyway. It's something that someone else has transferred to us, and we have accepted it, and now we're more burdened than they are burdened. There's something wrong with that.
I want to play it one more time.
Okay. And you know, and I know people who are addicted to chaos. They're addicted to drama. They run to see what's happening. They gossip around it, about it, and through it. They are addicted to mess. And let me say this, and I find this to be true, that all drama is not your drama. Many times we're in the middle of drama and it wasn't our issue anyway. It's something that someone else has transferred to us, and we have accepted it, and now we're more burdened than they are burdened. There's something wrong with that.
Dr. Kim,
Yes.
when you sent me that, and I'm glad you reminded me to play it.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Um,
Yes.
those were strong statements, and I want to say something about Kimberlane here.
Okay.
So Kimberlane, Dr. Kim, she follows you.
Oh,
She's created the Real Women of Richmond, Virginia, her own reality show.
good for you,
And,
Kimberly.
and when I posted that you were coming on a show, Kimberlane was like the first person on there that says she loves you. She loves
Stacey, I
listening to
can't
you.
hear you, baby. There's like bubbles.
How about
Hey,
now?
okay, I can now. Say
So
she did the Women of Richmond.
she has the reality show, The Women of our Richmond, Virginia.
Mhm.
Um, she's an author. And when I posted the flyer, she was the first one to come on and say she knows who you are and she loves listening to you.
Oh, thank you, Kimberly. And congratulations for all that you're doing. That's
She's
a
an
big
awesome woman.
deal. It's like such a big deal. It's just like, um, good for you. Good for you. Good for you.
Is there anything, Dr. Kim, anything that I did not ask you? I wanted you to have this platform. I didn't want to, I asked many questions last time. And I wanted to give you time to talk because I want people to know who you are and how you can be a blessing. Is there anything that I missed saying that they need to know?
Stacey, I cannot think of anything. You're so welcome, Kimberly. Different name. Um, I cannot think of anything. I just, you know, Stacey, I love you. Okay.
I
And
love you.
I do love you. I love you. And I don't usually feel so in love so quickly. And, Stacey,
Yes.
I don't know why. I think I love you because I think you love hard and you hurt hard.
Both.
And I know that that's part of your purpose and your assignment. And I know that the way you love is your gift. But I also know that it can destroy you with how much you hurt. And I think it's because of that I love you so much. I'm looking more at how vulnerable it can be.
So
Just ask God for wisdom. Um, to where you love, but it's not everything. And that's everyone, with the exception of God. And Stacey, that will be what saves you. That love that you have shown towards people in the past, you may not do it now, is to where you sacrifice everything. That's only for God. And then you still love, but it's not, there's a hold back. There's a, don't say anything. There's a hold back. And when you really have that, your entire life will change. That's what I wanted to say.
when I really have, say that again.
Girl, I forgot. I
No,
said,
no.
when you do that,
Yes, ma'am.
to where you love, not like this. Wait a minute. And you love, but with wisdom. And the only one you love like this is God. And everybody else, you love them, but they're not all that. You love them, then your whole life will change.
Can I tell you something? And people are gonna say, Stacey, not on your show.
You go ahead, honey.
I'm trying so hard to love. But I'm feeling like
Yes.
people don't appreciate it.
No, they don't.
And you try and you remind yourself what like, don't let them make you into a bad person. So you ignore.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked you with chaos. Even when you ignore, some people keep poking and poking and poking. It's like they can't stand your happiness. And you can say, I love you, I forgive you, and they still hurt you. Just poke, poke. That's why I said, and I'm no punk, don't get me wrong. But when, like you said, when I love, and I love hard. But I'm getting tired. So maybe people should know some people should know how much I love them. Maybe, like you said, your blessing is your curse.
Stacey, I get it. And you saying that is an answer to really what I've just said. But you can't love expecting anything back. Listen, if you can't do it without them appreciating it, don't do it. I don't know what that is right there. Um now listen to me. If you run to the store for Jessica, and if she doesn't say thank you when you come back, if it's going to make you mad, don't go to the store. Okay? You're asking God, I know that I'm a heart person, but make me more of a mind person. And if I'm sorry, Stacey, I love you, but if they poke at you, it's because you allow them. You're a grown woman. And if you're still pokeable, that's your fault.
I've been told.
I mean, you understand? I mean. Now. See, because see, what's going on is that you're seeing the curse side of your gift.
It's when you start getting up in age, people say you're getting soft, Stacey, but you really want to show the good side because you start thinking about heaven and hell.
Stacey, I don't think you need, and I may not even be hearing you right. I don't think you need to try to be nice. It's just in you. Do you understand? So many times I will have people say, how do I say it nice? How do I say it nice? I'm like, you're already dripping with niceness. Just say it. It's already in you. I think that, Stacey, it's going to take trial and error. You're going to have to walk it out. I mean, do I love you? Yeah, I do love you. Is it okay if I never see you? Yeah, it's okay if I never see you.
Thank you.
I feel that way. And and Stacey, I'm very loving. But I tell you what, there is nothing here that I can't leave.
Yes, ma'am. Ooh.
And when I try to be good to my husband and to be good to my son, it has nothing to do with them. It's because of the God in me.
I know that's right.
And there is nothing I'm afraid of walking away from.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And that's and it's like only because of God can I say that. Before God, I couldn't say no. I was super nice. I had low self-esteem. I would cry all the time. God's like, that's not me.
I know
That's you. And it's like I'm one of the coldest people I know. But love you in a genuine way.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
loving does not mean that. It means hoping for the very best of you, even if I want it. You go ahead, Stacey, and you get it. Be blessed.
Dr. Kim, now I'm going to tell you, I love you too, Dr. Kim.
I know.
I love you because I
And
love
I
you.
don't know, and I know you do. I know you do. But can I say something?
Yes.
My love for you is special, and it is because I love everyone. But there, I mean, and if I didn't love you special, I wouldn't say it. Okay, because I don't say
That's
all,
what I
I don't
love.
do stuff like that.
That's
But
what I love.
Stacey, but it is because it is how it can either be your light or your darkness.
Yes, ma'am.
And ask God for insight and strength and wisdom.
Yes, ma'am.
Even with lover, and I think we talked about this a little bit. Start imagining yourself without him. And then get well with it, Stacey. Get well.
That's another subject, Dr. Kim.
Girl, that's what I'm talking about. And then get well with it. Then that's when you're healthy.
Yes,
Don't,
ma'am.
because, and I mean it, because when you can see yourself without him, he will see it.
Yes, ma'am.
And he'll be all over you.
Yes, ma'am. He's sleeping in a separate room tonight. I'm kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm not going to do that. Dr. Kim, I'll stay.
Stacey, I know we gotta go, but when you said his name was Lover, you're so cute. And then when you Stacey, and I said, remember when you told me, you said, he's the one, he's my first love. And girl, I've been with my husband since I was 14, but
That's great.
he's very good. But Stacey, that stayed with me 3 or 4 days. It was so beautiful. But I tell you what, I love my husband.
That's sweet. That love is a beautiful thing.
But he's not my everything.
Yes, ma'am.
And yes, I
agree.
can see myself living quite victoriously without him.
You know what? In our actuality, I could, and I remind him. I'm not going to sit around and cry. You better do right. You know what I
Now
mean?
stop telling him, because the more you tell him, the weaker it is.
Okay. Dr.
Sometimes when
Kim,
we say it is to convince our own self.
we need to have you back on again, Dr. Kim.
But
Let's
Stacey, let me
see.
say one thing. I gotta go, girl, because
Yes.
Pittsburgh is playing the Buffalo Bills.
I only talk because you talk, Dr. Kim.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, and then let us know how to follow you and tell us again about the book.
Okay. One thing, and this is I believe in love. Okay.
Yes.
But the person that loves the most has the least power.
Really?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So save all that juicy stuff for God.
Yes, ma'am.
And always know that I'm with you, not because I gotta be, but it's because I wanna be.
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Kim.
A lot of times as women, we don't understand how to make men fall in love with us.
Does that mean you want to come back? Just give me a date.
Yes. My website is Dr. Kim, DRKIM. You're a doll baby. Dr. Kim at the drkimexperience.com.
Dr. Kim
At the DRKIM
Experience.
experience, EXPERIENCE.com.
Okay, okay.
For those of you who are watching, get the audiobook. You'll have it within 24 hours. It has been so fun today.
It's been great. I love you, and I am wishing you even more success, beautiful. Thank you so much.
baby. Love you.
Love you. Have a great one.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, you guys. How do I get out of here?
You know, I have guests on here that I just love. Some people say, Stacey, you get too comfortable. It's me. It's just me. I am Stacey Thomas, unrestricted, unlimited. I knew this would be a joy. I knew it would be more than 30 minutes. I hope you got something from it. Please follow Dr. Kim. She's on Facebook, Kimberly Ventus-Darks, also known as Dr. Kim. Okay? I am Stacey Thomas. If you like to see more of the show, check out YouTube. Go on YouTube and look up Stacey Thomas, Unrestricted, Unlimited. Like I always like to tell people, don't stress too much about yesterday. Don't worry too much about tomorrow. If you do, you just might miss living today. And obviously, after listening to Dr. Kim, we really need to be thinking about living today. Take care.